Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy new week. Happy literally almost everything. And I know most of you will be like, Winnie, World Cup imeisha to just a few hours ago. And while some people are happy, aka we are happy, there's some people who are like, no, there's nothing to be happy about, okay? But it's so good to see you either way right here on the show. It's Mindful Monday. My name is Winnie Lubembe, and I hope for those of us who stayed up late, up until the wee hours of the night, or should we say the morning, I hope you've had like several cups of coffee. I had to take a few cups of coffee really to be alive and look alive for the conversation this morning. And today, right here on Mindful Monday, the topic is, I know you've heard me talk about happy and say happy a few times in a sentence, and I know you'll be asking me, why are you using that term happy, in the sentence so many times? Well, that is because that is the subject of the conversation today right here on Mindful Monday, and we're looking at the search for happiness. And when you look at happiness, or when you think about happiness, several books have been written about happiness. Several songs have been written about happiness. Poems have been written about happiness. But do we really understand what happiness is all about? Are we happy? How many times have someone asked you, are you happy? And you're thinking, what do you even mean, okay, when you ask me, am I happy? Or have you ever asked someone if they are happy? If not, maybe I should ask you this morning, are you happy? Okay, so the conversation today is on the search for happiness, and we're asking, why does happiness always feel one step away? Okay, well, some people say they have found happiness. Others are like, I don't even understand what that term means, especially in this day and age. But not to worry, because we have the perfect panel to discuss that this morning. No, listen, but tutawaambia what happiness is all about, and even teach you how to get to that level of happiness, okay? But before you meet my guest this morning, the question that we're asking you is, if you could describe a happy life in one sentence, what would you say, okay? If you could describe a happy life in one sentence, what would you say? At NTV Kenya, across all board is how you can reach us, or use our WhatsApp number and send us your feedback, or if you have a question, feel free to send it our way. But the question is, if you could describe a happy life in one sentence, what would you say? Okay, we look forward to what you guys have to say. But I am not alone, because like I said, I am not the expert. We have the experts here to really help us understand. First of all, what does happiness look like? Okay, because I was doing my research, and especially when it comes to what happiness looks like in 2026 versus a decade ago, and I got very interesting results, which we'll be talking about as we continue with the conversation. But allow me to introduce my guest this morning, and I'm going to start on my immediate right. And just next to me, we have Cecilia Mboya, who is a clinical psychologist, not a new face right here on your wall. So it's so good to see you, Cecilia. How are you doing?
I'm very fine, Winnie. Thank you for having me around.
And thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Are you happy?
Very happy.
Very happy?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's a good start to the conversation. And we'll come back and unpack more on what very happy really means to you, right? Yes. Okay, and next to Cecilia, we have Matthew Mutiso. Again, not a new face right here on your world, and he is a mental health advocate. Good to see you, Matthew.
Good to
How
see
are you
you
doing?
I'm happy.
You're happy? Okay, I like that. I like that. We were discussing before we came on the air, and you said, World Cup, me, I'm not happy, but overall, you're happy.
Yes.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming, Matthew. And next to Matthew, we have Namrita Lakani, who is an associate certified pranic healer and trainer. Good to see you. Your first time right here on your world. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm curious.
Okay. Curious.
I'm curious about what I'm going to say.
Curiosity is really good. Yeah. But can we just start with understanding pranic, or is it pranic?
Yes,
healer?
pranic healing.
Okay, and trainer. What exactly is that for the purposes of people who are like, I just had that term today for the very first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So pranic healing is, the word pranic comes from the word prana, which basically means life energy.
Okay.
And basically, we all have a certain amount of life energy in our system. Yes?
Okay.
And the more of it that you have, the better you experience overall health. So it could be physical, emotional, psychological health.
Interesting.
Yes.
Life energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with pranic healing, basically, the idea is to remove energy blockages, which could be emotional blockages, and then replenishing and balancing that area.
That's very interesting. You know, when you talk about blockages, people will be like, what exactly does that even mean? Like when you look at, in a sense of life in general and the energies in itself, it's like,
Yes.
what exactly does that mean? But hey, I think you'll understand, help us understand that as we continue with the
Yes.
conversation. Same question to everybody else. Are you happy? How are you feeling today?
I'm happy amongst other things.
Happy amongst other things. Okay, that's honest. Thank you. But can we just first of all start with understanding, or even just the question on happiness in itself? Because just as the title says, the search for happiness, I think this is one of those constant things and constant discussions that we've had for a very long time, where we're constantly searching for happiness. That and especially when Mabel, our producer, said the topic, I was like, what exactly does happiness look like now in 2026? And especially when you think about the digital age, and we have people posting their lives and their successes and whatnot, and then you'd hear another group of people like, these guys are not even happy, they're just posting, for you guys to see. So happiness, can we just understand that in today's context? Let's start with you, Cecilia.
Yes. Happiness is, I said I'm happy.
Yes, very.
Actually, I said I'm very
happy.
One of the best definitions of happiness is by a guy called Martin Seligman. And he says it is having that state of positive emotions,
Okay.
sense of satisfaction, contentment
Okay.
with who you are and what is your life, having meaningful engagement in life, having a sense of accomplishment,
Okay.
sense of significance. That does not mean there are no other challenges, but it's a state of being where you have almost a baseline of happiness as a person. There may be some disturbances, but you come back to the baseline.
Okay.
So it's that kind of feeling calmness, relaxed. You're happy about what is happening.
Yeah.
You have put your mind in a state that you see the best out of life amidst other challenges.
Okay.
In a nutshell, that's what I could say it is.
So it's more of our attitude.
Yeah, it's more of an attitude of life, choosing. We have a biological part of it, which I will explain later.
Okay. Okay.
We have upbringing part of it, which accounts for at least 60%, 50-60%. But 40% is our own attitude,
Yes.
how I choose to see my life. And believe you, me, Winnie, I've been in the valleys of this life, difficult moments.
Okay.
But every time I have that baseline, that default setting I've put for my life, I have some turbulence and then come back to the baseline.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I've known you for a while now,
Yes.
and every time I see you, you're always happy, you're always smiling, So I would understand when you say your baseline is happy. It doesn't matter the turbulences, the ups and downs and in-betweens of life.
Yes.
Your baseline is happy.
Yes.
And when you're talking about the baseline, I know for so many people, they will struggle to even get there. Like, how do I get to a level of happiness, even if it's just for a day or a week or a month? But then to hear you say your baseline is happiness, they'll be like, how is that even possible to get to that level? But you will tell us as we continue with the conversation on how, first of all, you got there and how you stay there despite everything else that happens. But Matthew, we cannot talk about happiness without talking about mental health, okay? And given what we've seen, and not just here in the country, but even across the globe, when we're looking at mental health and how the conversations have continued to really come out strongly as far as mental health and how important it is, from the interactions that you have had with the people that either you counsel, you advocate for, you have conversations around, what are they saying as far as mental health and even just happiness and just understanding of happiness in, say, 2026?
Thank you, Winnie. That's a big question. But to answer it, first of all, let me say that maybe picking from my colleague what she has said, in terms of happiness is intrinsic, is innate, within, so that you don't need, for example, a child. A child is outrightly happy She doesn't have concerns of the world.
Yeah, no.
They play. That would be my definition of happiness as well.
Okay.
The capacity to play, the capacity to have joy without inhibition, be bold, courageous. When you're hungry, you cry or you speak in a language that no one understands, but they respond to. And that is the baseline.
Okay.
Even if you're not an adult, that's the baseline, I would say, for happiness. That intrinsic, that understanding that happiness is within.
Okay.
Happiness is you. Whether you've lost a game like myself, I was rooting for Argentina,
Oh, okay.
but it can coexist
Yeah.
with that loss. I'm happy.
Okay.
Now, when let me say a bit the interconnectedness with mental health is that at some point as we grow up in different developmental stages,
Yeah.
there are other factors within the household maybe or environmentally that would want to suppress
Okay.
or maybe control your expressions of happiness.
Okay.
And at that point, that's where issues of trauma come in. Yeah, either from the household perspective, either related to rejection, betrayal, abandonment,
Yes.
and they tend now to affect or to impact your mental state as you grow or develop. They either create situations of distress or cognitive impairment, and then or eventually somebody starts having coping mechanism or dissociation from themselves, and they lose their idea of happiness, which was innate.
Okay.
And then at that point, it can become even an addiction, or it can become a personality disorder, or even a mental health disorder,
Okay.
and or a syndrome, or what now we can label and say now this is a mental health disease. And out of the many manifestations of mental health illnesses that we have, about 364, you'll find from the statistic diagnosis manual, there are about 364, volume 5. So you'll find at one point, that happiness that was supposed to be innate,
Yeah.
it has become now a pathological, something that is a disease or is an illness.
Okay.
And that's why you find at some point when maybe the World Health Organization or some other statistics say that 1 out of 4 persons will have a mental health condition in their life. So at some point, maybe I would say connected to happiness, they have lost some sense of happiness
Yeah.
or that innate
Yeah.
understanding of
Of
the baseline where she says, I'm
Happiness,
happy or
yes.
not happy. So it becomes a label, a syndrome, a disorder.
I see that.
Yeah.
I'm curious to understand. So if it is innate, and all of us are born with that, because it's true. If you look around, even in your childhood experiences, you wouldn't care about what someone thought about the outfit that you put on, or how you're playing, or how you interact with people. You were just happy, whether it was good, whether it was bad. But then, like you said, somewhere along the way, something just happens and you completely lose that. But Namrita, when we're looking at then the energies, in itself, and the fact that happiness should be innate, but then again, we lose it at some point. Can we look at it from the life energy perspective of what you talked about? And how do I even know that I am, say, for example, experiencing blockages when it comes to either the search for happiness or even just understanding what happiness is about?
Okay, thanks. So, similar to what my colleagues here have shared, when you go through certain life experiences, right? Like, the mention of when a child is born, they're just, they're just themselves and they're just happy regardless of what's going on. Just the silliest, minutest thing can make the baby happy.
Yeah.
And then as we grow up, of course, we go through certain challenging life experiences, which is, of course, happens to everyone, right? It is part of life.
Yeah.
So there is there's of course the impression of those life experiences, right? Like if we go through a challenging time, maybe in childhood, right? Whether it was something happening at home or something that happened at school, and then later on in life, what happens in our in our workplace, in our careers, in our relationships. So all that sort of adds on onto what we call emotional and psychological experiences, which in fact are energetic in nature.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So if it is a traumatic experience, for example, you would literally have energies of trauma lodged in the energy system. And so from a healing perspective, we would, of course, we would talk to the client just to understand a little bit about their background. We would definitely encourage them to seek psychological help, counseling. And of course, then work on that, whether it's trauma, whether it's addiction as a result of the trauma, whether it is sadness, whether it's despair, whatever it is. And we'd work on removing that energy. So just as we say energy, we say energy is real, right? And this is very, very apparent. For example, when you meet someone, right, you can automatically somehow feel what this person is about, right?
Without them necessarily saying anything.
Yes. So, I mean, of course, based on your emotional intelligence or emotional awareness, right, you'd become aware of, how this person is feeling, or what are they probably thinking. Even for places you go to, they hold energy, right? So energy, in fact, so we understand is very real, right?
Very real.
So energetically, it's that's where the blockages, that's how we work on the blockages, because these energies, they get stored in our system. Whatever we don't process, whatever we're not able to let go of, if we're not able to forgive or whatever, that energy gets stuck inside your system. And so we help the patient, to understand, give a bit of perspective, and to remove those energy blockages.
I'm curious, what is a person who lacks happiness, for example, what energies do they give? Like, how do they, I don't want to say behave, because again, all of us will be able to pick the behavior based on what we see and what we experience. But energetically, how does this person, quote unquote, present? And even for the people who are watching us today, if they are experiencing the same lack of happiness, probably some have never experienced happiness in their lives. Okay, maybe when they were kids. What kind of energies do they sort of like dispense, give?
So it's not very easy to know if you meet someone, because everyone sort of, most people tend to put on a mask, right? Yes. That's why it is very difficult to pick up when someone is going through depression. Yes. We would hear of a case, maybe if it's a suicide case, and we'd be like, what happened? This person was okay. We've never picked up the signs, right? Of course, as an energy healer, as an energy practitioner, because we work a lot in this realm, we're able to, we are more or less more sensitive, and we're able to understand what the person's going through, even when we speak to them, right? But on a day-to-day basis, it is difficult to understand or gauge what the person is actually going through. They may be smiling on the surface, but you don't know what's going on inside.
It's true. And we've had a lot of people who say that. It's like, I am constantly having to put on a mask, because, again, when you look at the outside world, nobody cares what you're going through. It's like we have a lot of things that we're also going through and dealing with that we don't necessarily care to see, oh, okay, how is Namrita today? Why is she behaving the way she is? So a lot of people would do what? Put on a mask, pretend everything is happy, post all the beautiful things that they can, online, just because they have to find a way to survive in this world that sometimes honestly does not care about how we're doing. But Cecilia, you talked about different factors that sort of like influence either us being happy or the search for happiness, or even just understanding what happiness is about. And you said several things, our background, for example, the environment, for example, and even just psychology and science in itself. Can we just dig that a little bit deeper? And then I'll come and show you what I was Googling it and saying, what does happiness look like in 2026?
Okay.
And got a list of things, which again we'll go through.
Okay, first of all, let me say this, that every one of us is created with the capability to be happy.
Okay.
That's why we have happy hormones. We have dopamine, which is our motivator, our reward system, in our nervous system. We have serotonin, which is for making us feel good when we do good things. We have oxytocin, which is a love hormone. We have endorphins, which are pain reliever.
Yeah.
So those 4 hormones and others I've not mentioned, their main hormones, they are called happy hormones. They are inbuilt. It's like in a phone.
Yeah.
You have some inbuilt features.
Yes.
We have inbuilt features of happiness in us.
Nice. Okay.
Some may have more, others may be a bit less.
Okay.
But now what we do, we can activate them to be more,
Okay.
or to remain, or to go lower,
Okay.
by now the other influencing factors
Okay.
in our environment, genetic predisposition. That is why you find some people are more depressed. The same circumstance, some get more depressed than
And
others.
others, yeah.
But now again, we are saying we also have a sense of responsibility. And that is what I was explaining about to activate these happy hormones.
Okay.
And I told you I've gone through, there was time I used to get a lot of bouts of depression in my life.
Okay.
Actually, when I was in primary high school, I was admitted twice in a hospital because of depression. And I had several others later, maybe in my campus life. But now, when I started to do psychology, I discovered, wow, I don't have to remain in depression. I have some certain features which I can keep on activating,
Yes.
which will help me to stay at a certain happiness baseline.
Okay.
And from that moment, I decided to work on it.
Okay.
And you know what, Winnie? It works.
It works.
Let me tell you how.
Okay.
There is a formula, one, or something to have it in mind is, you need to have positive emotions.
Okay.
You work on, people have to have, and most of this comes from gratitude. It's true in 2026, we have all these exposures, we have World Cup and others losing and
Financial crisis.
I follow for the
Countries.
sake of, actually I read somewhere about what happened to the coaches, what they said about what happened Argentina and Spain.
Yeah.
And I could see the positivity even in defeat.
Yes.
So positive emotion, being grateful for what you have. Most of the time, why happiness is less, because sometimes we are chasing something which we don't have, instead of celebrating what we have here
Yes.
at the moment.
Yes.
And lately, we have many things we can be grateful for. Having a sense of hope. I may not be there where I want to be,
Yeah.
but I'm heading there. Let me work with what I have. Gratitude, or the first of all, that is one of the most important antidote
Yeah.
to unhappiness. Number 2, engaging in activities which are helpful for a person.
All right.
Am I every day from morning have a life where I'm engaging in activities which are helpful to me and other people around me? Because when people around me are not happy, also,
Yeah, it
then
influences.
we talked about energy.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
was up my
It
energy.
does
So
catch up with you.
engagement, then positive relationships. Am I out there cultivating positive relationship with my family, with my friends, with my colleagues, the people I work with?
Yeah.
And that is part of forgiveness, knowing that all of us are not perfect. And I will be hurt. Expect that I'll be hurt by people, because people have traumas.
It's true.
But what do I do with it? Then we have about relationships, then we have about meaningful life. Do whatever I do every day, the work I do every day, does it give me a sense of purpose? Am I kind? Do I do something bigger than me? Not just for Cecilia, living for me and alone.
Yeah.
By the way, that is one of the greatest way of happiness.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about whether I'm happy or not.
Okay.
Do you think about the other people
Other
around you, whether
people
they are
around
happy?
you. Okay.
Meaningful life, meaningful relationships, accomplishment. Am I every day waking up to accomplish something? So when we do some of those things, and we take stock of that, am I engaging in more of positive emotions? And let me tell you, our minds are created in a way that we can condition them.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I'm here a life testimony, that you can condition your mind such that even if things come, you feel pain, you suffer.
Yeah.
If you are used to use this method, I'm telling you, you do like that, and you organize your life in a certain manner. It's just like a tall tree. When there is wind, it will come. But at some point, it will
It
start.
will still stand still. Okay,
Yes.
so finding calm in the midst of
In the midst of
chaos.
all.
Yeah.
But that is a system you create
have
within
to.
you.
Okay, okay.
And I tell you, it works.
And it takes time and
It,
discipline,
it has
right?
taken and
It's
it
not
keeps
just
on
one
being
time,
and
yeah.
it keeps on being
Tested.
tested.
Yes.
Because life also. But another thing, there's somebody who's talked a book called Road Less Traveled. This guy says one of the best way to deal with life is to accept the difficulties of life. Life will be difficult. Once we accept life is difficult, when they come, we already, our mind is set to know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
So it's not devoid of challenges and pain of life,
Yeah.
but creating a system within you, which when they come, they may do whatever it is. The storms may come, but you still remain where you are.
I see that.
The baseline.
The baseline.
Yes.
Okay, and like you said, it takes time, it takes discipline,
Yes.
it takes literally almost everything.
And
to
self-awareness.
get to that level of the baseline, that your baseline will be happiness. It doesn't matter what, everything comes.
And
it comes
happiness
your way.
differ for different people.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, yes.
That's very true. And we'll unpack that, because again, for some people, it's having more money.
Yeah.
For some people, it's having peace. For some
Yeah.
people, it will be having,
Yes,
a
yes.
family, for example.
Yes.
In the digital age, it's like being able to fly to the Maldives and living your
Yes.
best life and whatnot.
Yes.
But Matthew, in terms of looking at the modern life and today's context, really, as we think about happiness, can we unpack some of the things that contribute to the either lack of or the constant search for that happiness? Because again, like Cecilia said, it's true. Happiness, it differs from person to person. But how does modern life contribute to that constant search for happiness?
Thank you. There are several factors,
Okay.
and from a mental health perspective, I'll use the trauma conversations around it. And trauma is one of the reasons that many people either assign their happiness externally.
Okay.
So they keep on searching, like what you've mentioned, happiness in somebody, happiness in a car, happiness in acquisitions here and there. And then the trauma, because what happens, trauma can happen, especially, I'm talking about emotional and psychosocial trauma.
Okay.
That can happen within an household or within an environment, or systemic trauma, some of the determinants of trauma. And especially when these traumatic events happen to a person below the ages of 18, 18 years and below, because your brain is not fully formed. So they create a blueprint in your subconscious.
Okay.
So, for example, if there was rejection, abandonment, you'll tend to keep on chasing for similar kind of relationships and so on.
So like what you missed.
Yes,
Okay.
what you missed.
Yeah.
And also more often than not entering into abusive relationships to compensate and all that. If, for example, you grew up in a place where there was a lot of stigmatization in terms of maybe status, what you had, what you never had, poverty was a very huge, it has a huge correlation with your traumatic experience. You also has an impact on how you identify yourself in terms of happiness, what you can have or not. And moving from a systemic perspective, now we looked at systems like transport, for example. Do they contribute to traumatic impact in people's mind? Yes, and I'd say yes. For example, what we call matatu culture.
Yes.
How many times, maybe you wake up in the morning, the first thing you see is a matatu with an image or a picture or a drawing, a graffiti of a lady. At the same time, at the back, there's a dog. On the other corner, there's Jesus loves you. I mean, that's disorder in itself. That's traumatizing in itself. Yes, it sends a traumatic signal of disorder.
Interesting.
Even where it stands, maybe where it picks you from, the noise, you're not sure, perhaps even as you leave work in the evening, you're going to find it where you left it.
Yeah.
Maybe it has changed route, it has changed station. That's creates anxiety and traumatic.
Yeah.
So from a bigger perspective, the things that I would say contribute to people always not finding happiness, majorly is traumatic experiences.
Okay.
Childhood traumas that grow, that develop, that stay with you as you develop in different stages
Yeah.
of your life.
Okay.
And then they create new
Pathways.
neural pathways.
Yeah.
And then what they do in your brain is that the first thing they impact or affect is your senses. Your ability to feel, to see, to touch, to hear.
Okay.
So even identity of self.
I see.
And what you assign value so that it makes sense to you. Now it becomes an issue of coping,
Yeah.
like she said, masking.
Yeah.
So trauma is, I would say trauma is the biggest
Okay.
determinant or contributor to why people don't find happiness. Because
okay.
they lose it in that context
Yeah.
of...
You know what? It's sorry. It's very interesting. Like my mind is still stuck at the matatu and Jesus loves you and a dog on this side and one. And it's like it's the simple things that we often not consider that would affect us in one way or the other. We just think, so this the parariras of our matatus. It's like a normal thing, but that is somehow imprinted in you. It's this rude person, you know, on the streets and nakugonga tu just for no reason, and then they go and if you don't deal with that, it's sort of like imprints. So it's sometimes the little things that we experience on a day-to-day basis that contributes to either the lack of happiness or the constant search for happiness. We'll look at your feedback in just a second, but I want to bring you in, Namrita, in terms of then understanding that life happens to all of us. And sometimes it's some things that are beyond you that contributes to like the biggest amount of lack of happiness or sometimes just a constant search for it. So someone would ask, so then what do I do? Because sometimes it's not my fault.
Yeah.
It's something happened to me and maybe I did not have control or I did not have the tools to help me navigate that. That has led me to, say, this point in my life where life has no meaning anymore. I don't like life. I do not like people. I am not happy. So what do you do in that state where it's not your fault? Life happened to you and you don't have the right tools to deal with whatever circumstance that you are experiencing.
Okay, so when we work with people, right, from a holistic perspective,
Yeah.
right, we're looking at their diet, we're looking at their overall sense of physical well-being, emotional well-being, psychological well-being. We also look at the spiritual well-being. Yes. So we are in fact spiritual beings, right, having a physical experience. I'm sure a lot of people have talked about this. And so it is sometimes difficult to describe the nature of the soul, right? But it's if you're to look at yourself as a spiritual being, that you're able to that in fact whatever is happening is not happening directly to me, right? Because the spirit is supposed to be unbreakable, and invincible, unbreakable, right? So I think basically identifying yourself as a spirit, as a soul, right? So that the impact of whatever is happening around you is not substantial for your psyche. So there's that understanding. And then also understanding that, in pranic healing, we talk about the law of karma. Yeah, we talk about, and it's a universal concept. It's like the law of gravity, right? It doesn't belong to a particular, country or whatever.
A religion.
Yes, or a religion. Yes. So when we talk about, that if we say, for example, this is not me, how could this happen to me? Poor me. If we go down that pathway, and if we bring the law of karma into perspective, we then get to understand that the law of karma simply states that what I reap, I have sown.
Ooh.
Yes?
Okay.
So when we are dealing with patients, right, we do talk about this concept that if you don't want to experience pain, right, don't plant seeds of pain, right?
Okay. Pain
So-
in a physical setting?
It could
or
be
pain in
emotional,
a-
it could be
okay,
physical,
okay.
it could be emotional, right?
Okay.
Like hurting people, right? So whether it's mentally, verbally, right, hurting people or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that is one way to say that it empowers us when we realize that, oh, it's because I planted certain seeds, this is what my crop looks like.
Yeah.
Yes, I have done this to someone in the past, and so this is what the fruits are maturing to be, right? When we say that if you plant a mango seed, you're not going to get an apple tree.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So basically, of course, this is towards the end of, as you're going much further along your healing journey. Of course, initially you have to deal with your trauma. You need that psychological help. You need, healing sessions, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But then moving forward, it would be like, okay, how to empower yourself, right?
Yeah.
To really understand that, yes, my life is my own and I have control over it
Yeah.
because, now what I plant, right? That is in
what
my
I
control.
will- yeah.
Right? It is, we cannot control what other people do to us. And we also don't have a very substantial amount of control over life
Yeah.
in general.
In general, yes.
Yes. So I think bringing all that into perspective, we realize we're spiritual beings. We are in charge of our destiny based on what we plant. And then also, realizing that happiness is actually probably one of the qualities of the soul. Right? When a baby is born,
Yeah.
they're
They're
as
happy.
close to heaven as, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, they're like untainted in some way, right? So you can see that happiness is actually it is part of you,
Yeah.
whether you believe in it or not.
Or
It is
Okay.
inherently part of you,
Yeah.
right? And so when we realize that, and if life throws challenges, whatever it is, right? If we are aware of this truth, then we're able to move ahead and meet challenges, meeting moments of happiness, meeting moments of weakness or challenges with an equal mindset. And so that brings me to the word equanimity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oof. You learn new things right here on your world. Equanimity is the word of the day today. But you know what? It's very interesting what you're saying about the law of karma, because we use that in a negative way. It's like karma will get to you, you know,
Yes.
because you did something to me.
Yes.
Kwa hivyo karma will, But no, sometimes it's what we have done. But we don't say it that way. We see it's you did this to me. Kwa hivyo, you wait, it will come. Your time will. No. Sometimes sit and think about what seeds did I plant to actually to experience what I'm experiencing in terms of the manifestations of what the seeds have. That's very interesting. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, and you talked about earlier on about the is the removal of energies and the negative energies
Yes.
as at that. When we come back from the break, we really then want to understand, so how do we do that? And is it a practice? Is it a lifestyle and whatnot? But before we go on a break, the question that we're asking you this morning is, if you could describe a happy life in just one sentence, okay, what would you say? If you could describe a happy life in one sentence, what would you say? At NTV Kenya, across all board on our digital platforms is how you can reach us or make use of our WhatsApp number. So on WhatsApp, this one says, yes, I am happy. Are you guys happy? Okay, yes, we are. This one says, good morning, your world. I would describe a happy life by having good health and my personal peace. And yes, I am happy since I choose to make myself happy. Happiness is a personal choice. Let's understand that. Okay. This one says, good morning. Says, hello, I am Clifford. Lately, I have been giving out bad energy. I have been talking to people bad on how I address them. It has really cost me. The problem is not me. It's the different trauma experiences. So I just know something will happen. And I am just 25. I think we'll come and address that. And I think we've talked about it partly, that it's not me, it's something else. This one says, hello, good morning. I am Siri, I think. DW from Huruma. Being happy comes from these things. Number one, health-wise, your health is wealth and it is a priority. Number two, psychological, peace with yourself. Number three, financially, being financial disciplined. And then this one says, the fourth one is the law of life. Just lower your expectations. And then, because she used to say, there's so many things that a human will be happy about, but not from luxury. Interesting perspective over there, all right? And then also a few here. From Facebook on the question, if you could describe a happy life in one sentence, what would you say? Helen Matoke says, more grace, favor, full of joy and peace. And then Julie Dare says, to have peace regardless of the season. And then Sam the Lifter, anasema good health and a stable pocket. And then Samuel Ovili says, happy life means having financial and time freedom plus good health. And then Emma says, good health and money. Okay. Benjamin says, being with the Lord. Okay. Then Moses Mombe says, fulfillment of our goals in good health and money. Money. Okay. And then this one says, this is Itu Ngati, who says, good health, a home in a quiet place in the village, a lot of money, and a dog. And that says, don't forget the dog. Okay. And then Penny Njambi says, us waking up healthy and having a job to report to. Okay, there's a pattern here. I mean, Sawa, good health is a good thing, and peace and all those things, but money, okay? I think we'll also address the whole thing about money, because a lot of people are saying financial freedom and good health. Mike Alares as well says that on Facebook. But can we address the person who says, I have been giving out negative energy lately and I have been talking bad to people, and it's not me, it is experiences that have forced me to experience or to express these negative energies. And I know we've talked about traumas in one point or another during the conversation, but does it have to be that way, that something happened to me, so I am going to talk bad to people, I am going to express negative energies to people because something happened to me, so it's not my fault. Me, if I talk to you badly, it is not me. Blame my traumas. Does it always have to be that way, Cecilia?
Let me say the first thing is that I don't know whether the viewer would wish everybody with problems bring the problems to him. First of all, it's not human nature for all of us. We don't want people to do bad things to us.
Yes.
Human nature, all of us want good things.
Yeah.
And like she said, we, even as a Christian, there's a verse says, whatever you sow,
you will reap.
You reap.
Yeah.
It's universal.
Yes.
So if I think, for example, if I'm sick, and I know I'm sick, I go and I see a doctor to be helped, to be healthy, physically, and even that part of talking bad, especially if I know I'm talking bad, and I can't help it, then I need to look for help, because it seems we said that is not the default setting of all of us.
All of us, yes.
We are supposed to be pure, but we know we have a lot of all those trauma coming from our families, from what we have gone through. Yeah. But I said here, we don't have to live like that. We can seek for help, and we begin a new a new application of speaking well, because it comes from our mind, from our thought process, and interpretation of things in life. Okay. So we can begin a new system. And system can begin every day, every morning, to change the system to be, because there's no way you can be happy and have peace when you're insulting people, when you're mistreating people, when everybody you meet, they look away from you, they don't want to engage with you, you live a loneliness. It's one of the mental health issues. So for you to have that peace they're talking about, you must make sure that you are giving that peace also to the other people around you. Yes. So if you don't know how to get it, then we are here psychologists. We have her here, we can help him. Or her to get to, so that they can create a new system which will help you to be the kind of people they want to be.
I see that. You know what, it's interesting. They know that they experience negative energy.
He's a step ahead. He already knows.
So that's a good thing. That's a very good
It's
step.
a very good thing.
So the next step is then what do you do?
Is creating the new system.
Okay, let's take a break, and then when we come back, would want to understand. So are there people who first of all, are unhappy and don't know. And then in the process of not knowing whether they are happy or not, they end up hurting other people. And then it's like we create a cycle of unhappy people. What is it called? Passing out the unhappiness to everybody else. It's like when they see you happy, they're like, why are you happy? And then do something.
Actually, they get annoyed.
You know, yeah. So do we have those group of people? And how do we even apply? Because Cecilia talked a little bit about the things that you can do to come to that baseline of happiness, right? But then how do we apply it? How do we make it a lifestyle and not just a one-time thing, okay? So there's so much to come on the other side of the break. But hey, if you have a question and you need help, please send it our way as well. The experts are here to help you, get to that level of happiness. So keep sending in your views, your feedback, as well as your concerns and your questions our way at NTV Kenya across all board. But let's take a break. There's so much to come on the other side, so do stay with us. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Of course, the conversation continues even during the break. It's Mindful Monday, officially the second hour of the conversation this morning, where we're looking at the search for happiness. And we're looking at why does happiness always feel like one step away? Okay, it's like when you're almost there, when you think you've achieved happiness, and then no, it's like a little bit of elusive, okay? When you think you have achieved it, then no, you're not, okay? And we're just trying to understand, why is it that we're always in that constant search for happiness? Do we even understand what happiness looks like in 2026? And would you sit at some point and say, you know what, I'm actually happy, okay? Because we were asking ourselves, even when we started the show and even during the break, are you happy? And we reminded, Namrita started this conversation, yeah? She said, I am happy, amongst the other things. Right? So do we ever get to that level of total, utter happiness? Okay. And what exactly does it look like in today's context? And the question that we're asking this morning right here on Your World is pretty much simple, okay? If you could describe happiness in just one sentence, we're not asking you for like a whole paragraph, just one sentence, okay? What would you say? I'll be going through your feedback in just a second. But I know, like we said again, majority of the times for us, we think happiness, I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I have a child. I'll be happy when I land that job. Or I'll be happy when I get, or I hit my financial target. But is that really all, when you think about happiness? Is that all it's about? The physical things, the material things? Is it all that? Or are there other things that we need to be mindful about when we're looking at happiness? That is what we are unpacking today right here on the show. But I just want to ask, like, honestly, like in 2026, do we get, I know, Cecilia, you said your baseline is happiness, but are we ever really, truly happy? And the second part to that question is, why do we feel the constant need to search for happiness? It's like, oh, I'll be happy when I get married. And then you get married and you'll be like, oh, I'll be happy when I get a child. And then you get a child and you'll be like, oh, I'll be happy when my child starts walking. Or when my child, it's like, you think you've achieved it and then no, there's more that we want. So are we ever really, truly happy, Cecilia?
When you don't seem to be trusting, I'm happy.
Oh no, you are happy. You said it took you a lot of time and work and effort
to be happy, truly happy.
To be truly happy.
Yes.
Very
happy. I said at this moment I'm very happy.
Very happy.
Very happy.
Yes.
I'm feeling the positive emotions.
Yay.
I'm feeling good talking about what I like talking about. As a counselor, psychologist, empowering people. That's my desire for people to be happy.
To be happy.
So I'm actually accomplishing so all those things I talked about, I'm feeling them.
Yes.
And I'm feeling happy.
And we can actually
very
feel
happy.
it.
Yes. You can feel the energy.
Yes.
Yes. Now, we are truly happy.
Okay.
We can be very happy. We can be happy. But very is subjective.
Yes.
We can be happy, and we are truly happy if we have the proper equilibrium, which brings us to that state of positive emotions, contentment, and satisfaction of life, depending on how we interpret that state of well-being to be.
Okay.
So when you talk about people chasing, first of all, naturally, we are supposed to be in that calm state. That is why you find people having mental health issues and even some physical illnesses which come when we are not in that equilibrium, that steadiness, that state of alignment of the whole system of our being mentally, physically, spiritually, and all that. So depending on how we interpret that to be, we can be chasing it, or we already have it.
Okay.
But we may not be aware whether we have it.
Or not. Yeah.
It's possible not to be aware because, for example, if I want a car, I have a car is for transport. I can go with matatu, I can go with boda boda, I can have my car, but maybe I may want like my neighbors, TX, you know? Now, have I achieved the means to my transport? They are there.
Yes. You have options.
But when now I think I can only be better if I'm on TX, as I see small cars moving and cruising around there, then now I may not
start calling them names. They can do a move.
And all I just wanted to, so it is how I interpret that happiness, which is subject of environment, some of this social media, but most of the time it's because have I really sat down as a person and defined my route in this life?
Okay.
What is my road of happiness? Because the most important thing is do whatever I do able to increase the levels of my happy hormones. How do I trigger them to rise so that I feel happy?
Because it's already there.
It's already there's a default setting for it. Now, for one person, it could be that TX or an airplane, all winning of Argentina or Spain, for them to feel that way.
Yeah.
But for me, it could be sleeping for 2 hours because of the noise of the people who are looking at World Cup. But at the end of the day, all of us have been having high dopamine,
levels.
high serotonin.
Yes.
So it is the interpretation. That's why we keep on looking for the next and the next. But basically, let me go back to this more. That at the end of the day, sometimes we cannot be at that level, baseline, if we lack basic needs.
Okay.
Basic needs are important for everyone to get at the baseline. At least, can I afford food? Not if I can get ugali and sukuma, that is carbohydrates and vitamins, and then what? Protein, an egg. That's balanced meal. I don't have to go to the highest hotel.
No, you don't have to have salmon and
to feel that
and
now I'm as a Christian, it's I ate manna every day, and they were fine.
They were okay.
So if I can get basic needs, shelter, and all those basic as human beings, I should be at that level.
The baseline.
And the reason we search is because we are always looking for that equilibrium. Is it there? It is an innate need.
Okay.
Just like thirst for water, thirst for sleep, thirst for oxygen. So we feel we need to be there. But the problem is, do I know when I arrive?
That's a question.
So I think if I get Winnie, she's very beautiful, I'll be very happy. But will I? I don't know. So why not enjoy what I have now?
Now, yes.
If Winnie comes my way, or Matthew comes my way, then we can join our happiness.
Right? And
not
be
to
happy
have him
together.
to make me happy. No, I give him happiness and he gives me happiness too.
Yeah. Okay.
It is already within us.
It's within us.
Yes.
Okay, we need to find and define what happiness
and define what is happiness for Cecilia.
Yes.
Some viewers may want to say, "Your mama, what is happiness?" Well, is really happy. I am happy because I have defined my road of happiness for this life.
And that's truly like a beautiful place to be.
Yes.
Because, and like I said, we live in a technological world.
Yes.
Where, and especially when you think about social media, it's like you see someone posting they bought a new Mercedes GLE or GLC or you know, and then there's someone else who's built a house, a very beautiful house, and then you see someone constantly, they live in the air because they're constantly traveling, and then you sit and think, Sasa, what is my life? What did I do wrong? And some of us actually, do you know what this joke that we always make? It's like, my grandfathers and my parents, them they were sleeping in school when other people were working so hard to achieve what they have. No.
Not after 18.
No.
Yes.
It's on you. After 18, it's on you. But Matthew, is it wrong to constantly search? Is it such a bad thing?
No, actually it's not. It's a very good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, to keep on aspiring.
Yes.
I saw somebody had made one of comments there that lower your expectations.
Yes.
No, raise your expectations.
Raise the expectations.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a good thing, it's a positive thing to aspire for more. And more often than not, where the injury occurs is when you're in an environment that you aspire for more and it reduces you.
Yeah.
So it distorts your idea of what is rightfully yours and yours to pursue and achieve.
Yeah.
So that one can bring that confusion that I have to earn, to have a right to be happy. I need to suffer to be happy. No, it's not entirely true.
Yeah.
Happiness, like you said from the beginning, is innate. It's intrinsic. It's yours.
Yeah.
It's there for you.
Yeah.
Go and have it. Whether it's from a car that will give you happiness, go for it.
Why not?
Whether it's in marriage, go for it. Whether it's in work, go for it.
Yeah.
Be a doctor, be an engineer, be a sports person. If it gives you happiness and brings you joy, and in the same time you're present. What brings the problem is how much you put towards it that is detrimental to yourself and takes away your authenticity,
Okay.
your true identities that you have to, like you talked about chasing. You keep on chasing. What you chase more often than not, you'll never catch. But what you attract, more often it comes to you because it's a factors of what she's talked about, energy.
Energy,
So energy oscillates towards where there's high pressure, low pressure kinds of situations, and then they meet. But looking at our lifestyles today, I could say maybe 4 or 5 things that perhaps contribute to this idea of chasing. And on top of that, let me just mention before I forget, around 2020, somewhere there, I think the previous government had what we call the Mental Health Task Force.
Yes.
And the Mental Health Task Force came with a report. And part of the recommendations in the report is that we needed to form a mental health commission, mental health and happiness commission. That was one of the recommendations.
Yeah.
Because happiness in some contexts can be measured. There are some indices that can be looked at.
Yeah.
And some of these indices are some of the things that people are talking about. Issues related to money, financial stability, income, GDP, political stability is one of them. Levels of corruption, health, access to health, access to ability to call somebody, community, to be accept, sense of belonging, and so on. So you find what has happened over time. In my perspective, I would say, there's been a bit of erosion of some aspects that would ideally anchor people towards happiness, or ground people. Yes? For example, culture. There is a huge distortion of culture, identity, who we are not. And there is a new idea of culture that has emerged that is not really grounded in either ideals, but more, I would say maybe on individuals, or maybe a movement that is passing by. That one creates a euphoric or fanatism that distorts ideas of who you are and what you really aspire to be. That is one of them. The other thing is what you talked about, social media and the AI generation that you are in. There is a lot related to status, what people show, that attracts a lot of clicks, and there's a lot of related to victimhood that also attracts a lot of bites and clicks. Yeah.
Okay.
And that again, let me go back to trauma, and that's a manifestation of trauma in itself.
Okay.
Because trauma creates a situations of black and white, doesn't look at the gray areas. So what is highly shown on social media is what is on the extreme. Might be doing fine, but is something that shows about status, but doesn't talk about the gray area. So we tend to blind that and not relate to that, of which more often it's our realities.
Okay.
And then you look at the other extreme, the pain, the victimhood. That's also attracts a lot of performative sympathy or empathy, whichever that is closer. So that also attracts a lot of things. And that one distorts our ideas of who we are, our identity, and what our goals are, and what we need to pursue as happiness. There is maybe, lastly, I can mention is about the media itself. And what is perpetrated. We see a lot of deceit, narratives that actually are created to create either confusion, fear, or tame people. These narratives, at some point, they promote a certain kind of people, and which I'll call maybe perpetrators of these narratives. But the public, the general public, is left always fearful, in doubt of who they are, their identities, or issues related to their happiness or not happiness, because those narratives are skewed towards creating fear or taming them. That also can create an idea of maybe we don't deserve happiness. Maybe we are doomed to be this way. We are assigned, this is our fate. This is who I am. I'm not like so and so. Like you said, our parents were sleeping. They were not sleeping.
They were doing the best they can.
They did the best they can. Neither are you sleeping, even now. And finally, what I also say is about what trauma does to you in terms of choices.
Ooh. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Trauma takes away your ability to make a good choice. Because it leaves you in a space of, again, the extremes, white and black. Coping mechanism. You don't want to see the gray areas. There is no, like initially what we said, yes, my team lost, but it can coexist with happiness. I'm still happy. It doesn't mean that I'm in sorrow,
have to live with the
I have to transfer, project, and so on, hate. Those extremes, trauma leaves people in those extremes, black and white. There are no gray areas. So ability of choice, making a choice, a good decision is also distorted when you've experienced traumatic. You've undergone several traumatic experiences. But doesn't mean that you don't deserve happiness. Each one of us deserve to be happy.
It's already in us.
It's already in us. You just need to find it, exercise it, and live it, and be present about it.
I see that. Again, remember how I told you I was Googling what happiness looks like in 2026 versus a decade ago. So this is what I just prompted. I was like, so what exactly does happiness look like in 2026? And this is what I got. They said in 2026, happiness looks different from what it did a decade ago. It's less about having it all and more about being well despite life's circumstances. And a whole list of things: having good mental health and emotional peace, financial stability, meaningful relationships, everything that we've talked about, right? Flexibility and work-life balance instead of constant hustle, good physical health, living authentically, finding purpose, and feeling safe. Then I asked, what did happiness look like a decade ago, okay? And this is what it said. A decade ago, happiness was often associated with achievement and stability. Many people measured it by traditional milestones such as landing a secure, well-paid job, owning a home or a car, getting married and starting a family, climbing the career ladder, financial success and material possessions, and taking vacations and enjoying visible signs of making it. And I thought about it and I said, but even in this day and age, that still happens, but it's not as bad as how it looked like sort of like a decade ago. Now we're more conscious of, am I healthy? Am I in a good state of mental health? Am I at peace with self and even with the people around me? So it's like, as time goes by, we're becoming more aware of what is important and what happiness looks like. But again, like we said, there's some people who are not there yet, don't even know how to get there. So Namrita, when we're looking at the constant change in terms of what matters, because 10 years from now, happiness would look completely different from what we're experiencing now. So how do we remain constant despite the different changes that happen either in life, either intrinsic, either, extrinsic, and also with the different surroundings and circumstances, because challenges also keep changing. The challenges a decade ago are not the same challenges now. So how do we remain constant? The baseline, like that Cecilia talked about, that it doesn't matter what changes and how much those changes influence me, I'll still remain happy, for example. How do we do that? And maybe you can talk about healing, meditation, journaling, like we talked about as well, and how that contributes to us just remaining at the baseline.
So I think with the ever-shifting tides of the world, right? And the challenge is always going to vary from one generation to the next, based on what the world is going through collectively, or what a country is going through collectively. So based on that, I think the idea is, from an individual perspective, one of the ways that you can look at it as, you look at the four core areas of your life, right? So it could be like your health, it could be your finances, it could be your relationships, it could be your career, right? Or your self-development area. And then you can actually sit down and just rate on a scale of, 1 to 10, what that area looks for you right now, right? Okay. Now, the truth of life is that something will not stay consistently good. Yes? Yeah. Because we go through cycles. Yes. We have seasons, right? We have summer, we have winter, we have the rainy season, the dry season. So life is like that. They're going to be different seasons throughout, right? So the idea is to have that realistic picture that yes, things are not always going to stay, there's always going to be ups and downs, right? So then the idea is, then how do I create that mindset that keeps me stable or at baseline, so to speak, right? So there are certain, the idea is not to say, yes, I'm happy, or no, I'm not happy, right? The idea is, what do I do every day to cultivate happiness within me?
That when someone asks you, are you happy, you can quantify.
Yes, yes, I can say yes. Okay, my health is, okay, maybe 5 out of 10. But my career right now, it's doing so well. It's 9 out of 10. So I think you can sort of quantify it for yourself. Yes. And then to keep you at that baseline, it's now to cultivate good practices for yourself. So it could be like, like she talked about gratitude, right? And we know from an energy perspective, when you practice gratitude for what you have, your energy level increases, right? Yeah. Like the energy of for example, the energy field actually increases when you practice gratitude, right? Also, when you appreciate other people, right? Even that helps you to generate, more positive energy within yourself. Yeah. And then, of course, doing meditation, whether it could be, sitting in silence and just being grateful, whether it's, doing any, positive visualization meditation or whatever it is, right? All these things add to it. Yes, affirmations, positive affirmations. So, just to help reprogram your thoughts, right? Even thoughts are real. Thoughts are energy in nature, right? So if you have a big energy of sadness, fear, despair sitting in your aura, trust me, the little bubble of happiness is just going to pass through you and you won't even notice it, right? Yeah. So the idea is to create, so in the energy world, what you put your energy on is what grows. Yeah. So if you keep joining the narrative that, you know, keep repeating the narrative, oh, you know, this is not working, that is not working, this, whatever, then you are feeding that with energy, and that is what will tend to manifest more, right? I mean, of course, we know in science they say that opposites attract, but in the energy world, it's not.
It's not.
it is like energies that attract. Yes. So based on your energy, you attract those circumstances, you attract those kind of people, you attract those kind of situations, and that is what will be your reality. So now that is the empowering part. If it is that easy to create the reality that I want for myself, what can I change on an energy perspective? What are those thoughts that are holding me back? What are those belief systems that are holding me back, right? That are creating my current reality? And what is it that I can now create with a positive intention, right? Whether, you know, even just sitting and creating and visualizing yourself just being happy, just creating that intention starts to build that energy in your you know, in your aura, right? So these are some of the practices, you know. So meditation, it could be breath work, you know, and just appreciating life for what it is, right? So these are some of the things I would say. Happiness is, it's not instantaneous. It is not based on some extrinsic factor. It is something that you have to cultivate and practice on a daily basis. Also review your life, review your life patterns, what it is that, you know, you've been focusing more on, which is negative, and focus more on what is positive. Of course, seeking mental help, right? If you need to see a psychiatrist, a counselor, psychologist. I think these are basically some of the ways that we can stay at
baseline, optimum
levels,
right, of self. It's interesting because it's very easy to focus on what is happening in the outside world and sometimes forgetting what is happening inside, you know, and even just being aware of, why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Is it something that triggered me? Is it something that maybe I did? Did I sleep well? Okay. Did I eat, you know, the right foods to help me be a whole, because again, like we said, we're one holistic person. We're not just, you know, patches here and there of who we are as individuals. But then again, sometimes people don't understand it when it comes to, say, for example, meditation or journaling, or even just gratitude, or even breath work. Sometimes people are like, Sasa, what are those things? You know, like there's so many things that are happening in life that, how do I just sit in quiet? And one of the guests here on the show said 95% of people don't know how to sit with self. It's uncomfortable. It's like, how do I just sit with myself and my thoughts? And it's very uncomfortable. And like you've all said, this is a culture. It's something that you need to practice and create. And at some point you get to that level. Now, have we ever met someone who's just negative? Like, it doesn't matter what happens in their lives, they're just constantly negative and pessimistic, and then they transfer all the energies to the people. How do we help such a person to achieve a baseline of happiness? And even when you look at our families, for example, we always make this joke and say, you know, that crazy uncle, or that negative uncle, or that negative auntie who never sees anything positive in life. Like, you might look very nice, you know, Cecilia, and then they're like, but that color is not, like, they don't see the beauty. They see, you know, they're always quick to. Yes. No. She didn't have other options.
No.
Yeah.
I've met them. Oh, believe you me. In fact, recently I went for a burial somewhere, and I, as a counselor, I'm there encouraging, and I'm just giving the energy, positive energy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Was it not rejected?
Oh, no.
And I was wondering, I thought, when you are mourning, I'm supposed to be there for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it was nasty, believe you me. Let me leave it there. Okay. It was nasty. Okay. But and then I sat back and asked myself, why would anybody feel I'm doing a wrong thing when, by all means, all things
considered.
Yeah. I mean, everybody would want to be. But I think, I thought, no, that's not mine. You see, yangu.
Yeah.
It's them.
Yeah.
Because of how they see things, how they, that negative energy,
Yeah.
and how, and let me tell you what she's talking about, trauma and all these other things we choose to entertain in our lives.
Yeah.
Preconceived notions, some misgivings of life,
Yeah.
they can make us, our brains to concentrate on the negativity.
Yeah.
And by the way, our nervous system is created to protect us. So it's always on a high alert
Yes.
through whatever is happening around us. So being negative, we keep on ruminating on the wrong things until they become a reality.
Yeah.
And those people are there. So what do I do?
Yeah.
One, I must separate myself from what is being said. If I know myself as Cecilia, with the little understanding I know about myself,
Yeah.
and I know the action I was having is not to hurt anyone, so I don't take it personal. Just look at it there.
Yeah.
Oh, I may think I'm doing good thing, but it's wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, because people have a right to interpret things the way they
Yeah,
want it to,
yeah, yeah.
but I also have a right to take care of what is
Yeah.
in for me. But at the same time, that positive energy I have, I can try to influence the system, but if it's not working, I have a right to take care of myself.
Okay.
I have a right to protect my own energies.
Yeah.
It is part of the road to my happiness. I'll do what I can, but at the same time, I will let people be.
Okay.
Maybe by who I am, they can catch some of those energies,
Yes.
but I choose not to personalize things.
Okay.
Maybe I would not have said what I am saying now. If I was 20,
Yeah.
maybe that is.
Okay.
But
Okay.
now, as I approach 60, I've learned these systems of creating that allow people to be. Maybe they're on the journey to that road where I am, but I try to influence them positively where I can.
Okay.
But knowing also I have boundaries because people have also a right.
And they
make
can
their
try
own
to
decision.
influence the negativity on you.
Yeah.
Like, why are you happy and us?
Yeah, so they will try to prick it. So I'm also very alert around my system.
Yes.
I'm also alert on when my energy are being interfered with. So, and because I know what that means for me,
Yeah.
and I have to take responsibility for my own
For
happiness.
self. Yes. Yeah.
So if somebody tries to come and I feel it's coming closer to the circle, there's a way I deal with it immediately,
Yeah.
put the boundary, allow them to be, allow myself to be, go and get re-energized, because at the end of the day, I owe it to myself also
You do. Yes.
on my road to happiness.
That's true. And I think most of us don't sometimes understand that you're
Yes.
responsible for your own happiness.
yes.
And I was listening to
Yes.
a podcast this morning, still on happiness. And was it Eckhart Tolle who was talking about how
Yes.
we have this misconstrued
Yeah.
way of thinking the world has to make us happy.
And now,
And that is very screwed, because no,
Yes.
the world has, no one is responsible for your own happiness. It's you who's responsible for your own happiness.
Cecilia,
But what do
is-
we do? We think my husband should make me happy, my wife should make me happy, my kids should, my work, the pay that I get, it should make me happy.
Yeah.
But no, that is not the case. You
Yes.
take ownership and
You take
responsibility for your
yes.
own happiness. So then, and like we said, this is a lifestyle. This is something that we need to like cultivate on a daily basis. But why is it difficult? Because I was looking at how technology is here. We read a lot. There's a lot of material and resources out there. Like you can easily Google, how do I stay happy, or what will make me happy, and you see all these things, and suggestions and whatnot to how you can be happy, you can better your life and whatnot. But why aren't we doing that? It's like we have the knowledge, but we're not practicing.
It is difficult work.
The knowledge. It's difficult work.
Yes. And naturally, we don't like difficult work.
Oh, no, we don't.
It is easier to fix other people, tell them you are making me, not making me happy.
Yeah.
My wife, why are you not behaving like this? My children, my husband.
Yeah.
But sitting down, like she said, quietly.
Yeah.
And something I like doing a lot of I do a lot of meditation myself.
Okay.
I like taking time to think about Celia because I think I'm the greatest project for my life, myself.
Okay. Okay.
I sit with myself and ask myself, Cecilia, where are you in this road of life?
Okay.
And go back and reflect. Where did I mess up? Where did I bring bad karma to myself?
Yeah.
What is this? What did I bring good karma? That taking moment, taking back, and working myself and try to apply that.
Yeah.
I think that is hardest, but it's the best project
It's the best
anyone
project. Yeah.
can have.
Okay. You say it's
Yes.
hard work, and then I really hope at some point so that we will not lose it in terms of then how do we do it? I know we touched on it a little bit, in the course of the conversation, but for the purposes of people who are tuning in right now and thinking, hey, how do I sit with self and put in the work and whatnot? We'll go through it in a second.
Okay.
But also, I was Googling and just thinking, okay, because we have the World Happiness Index, right? And it's just
yes.
curious to understand, where are we as a country? Hey, we are
Yeah, we
at
are
number 110, right?
110, yeah.
110 out of 147 countries.
In
Then tumeshinda 37 countries.
Yes.
Okay. And they said the ranking reflects on people's overall life satisfaction rather than monetary joy, it raises an important question. What would it take for more Kenyans to feel genuinely happier? So it's not like we're unhappy. Tuko mahali somewhere hapa, but we can be happy,
Yes,
okay? And not just economically, but also emotionally and socially as well. And Matthew, I'm also curious to understand from you, what is it that we can do then collectively as a country? Because again, like we said, mental health is a very big conversation right here in the country. And we had a task force, formed and whatnot. But are there things that we can do collectively, either say for people in power, the government, the leaders amongst ourselves, our communities, our societies, our parents, for example, or just people in authority can sort of like support all of us, to just achieve to that level of happiness, if there's an English term for that. Are there things that we can do collectively to sort of like get there?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
The index as talked about, it highlights certain issues.
Yes.
For example, corruption. Collectively, as leadership, we can find ways of addressing issues of corruption. It talked about issues of health.
Yeah.
Why do we castigate the idea of universal health?
Yeah.
Yet that is an index of measuring happiness.
Yeah.
It talks about social living, cohesiveness, community, and so on. But over and above that, as a country, we can look at other systemic and structural determinants of unhappiness. Like I talked about transport sector.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you look at all the SDGs as they are, from SDG 1 to SDG 17, there is a correlation with mental health. And transport is just one of them, sustainable cities and so on. If we can align our transport system, we shall improve happiness.
Okay.
People will be more happier. If we can curb or we can curtail negative conversations in our media, mainstream media in particular.
Okay. Tumechapwa sisi. Okay. We're taking responsibility.
Yes,
Collective responsibility.
Collective responsibility.
Okay.
We can also create some level of public trust. We can reduce fear. We can reduce anxiety.
Okay.
And we can reduce doubt on self. We can increase autonomy, individual autonomy, rather than collectives' ideas of suffering.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example. Even at political level, right now, what is happening?
Yeah.
The other day, there was a politician who said there were about 60 women who were raped. When a young girl hears 60 women were raped, that's very shocking.
Scary.
Where? How did it happen?
Yeah.
Who are these? Could it have been me? that's a very alarmist
Okay.
content to be in the public. You get me? As politicians, from that level.
Yeah, because now this is me thinking, how do we highlight? Because maybe that's a fact.
Maybe it's a
that
fact.
Is what is
maybe
happening,
it's not a fact.
But
there's a
yeah.
way that one needs to be managed.
Come out.
Yes,
Okay.
come out.
Yeah.
And actually evidence, fact-finding, and all that. Collectively, that's what we need to do.
Okay.
I just give an example.
Okay.
And then maybe there's an instance of justice collectively. How does justice restore rather than being retributive, punishing? That's why even in terms of mental health, we talk about decriminalization of suicide. So that it invites people to come and speak. Decriminalization of drugs, because addiction is not a crime in itself, it's a coping mechanism. So how do we address these issues of laws? And finally, maybe from an economic perspective, we need, or maybe a preventive perspective. Right now, we don't have, in our system, in our country, we hardly have a budget as it is for preventive mental health or promotion of mental health. At what point do you hear an advert on the TV like the same way you hear about the ABCs of HIV? You don't hear anything about building resilience or for your mental health. You don't hear about meditation, journaling. How do they improve your mental health? There's no funding. I'd wish the government to create a mental health fund that can be used primarily for prevention and promotion of mental illness. To create awareness, anti-stigma campaigns in schools, for example. And finally, maybe in terms of social media, we need to monitor our usage of social media. We are living in an era whereby we are moving from society, collective, to cells. We are moving from, even in church circles, these days you hear a lot about cell. Okay, that word, C-E-L-L. Prison, cell. Cell, phone. Cell, it's locking you. Battery, energy, cell. This idea of cell is very limiting. So we need to find a way that we can move into communities. And that's the matrix of mental health that is advocated for by the WHO. Deinstitutionalize mental health. Create community-based discussions at workplace, at homes, have these conversations so that we can have a lot of resilience, self-agency, and autonomy within ourselves. Yes.
I hear that, because it's true. You might put in the work and the discipline and, vumilia yo kukaa with self for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or even just 5 minutes every day. But then again, if everything else around you does not help with that, and especially when you're talking about, say, for example, access to healthcare, basic needs, for example, water, then there's corruption, and then there's all those things. If all of that is in a mess, it doesn't matter how much you try, sometimes you'll find yourself falling into that loop. But Namrita, you talked about the energy blockages and how we need to release that and whatnot. I don't know if it's easier to talk about it or more of like practice to show how to release the energy blockages. And we've talked about other things, that practices people can do at least to help them be at that state of happiness as a baseline. But when it comes to like dealing with the problem, treating the problem, especially when it comes to like energy blockages and whatnot, how does that happen from your perspective as the specialist, as the expert, to at least help people? Because I'm sure there's someone who's watching us and thinking, man, like the one who sent in and said, I know, I talk negatively to people and whatnot. How does that happen to at least release the negative energies, but also make it a lifestyle so that you don't release at some point and then you fall back when someone kanyagas your toe and you're like, and then you shikilia. Yes.
So in terms of releasing, you can think, so pranic healing is based on two principles, right? So there's cleansing and there's energizing,
Okay.
right? It's just like when you have to, in order to exhale, you have to inhale, right? When you exhale, that's cleansing. When you inhale, that's energizing.
Okay.
So the same can be applicable for, your own well-being. Is, for example, when you're doing a breathing exercise, right? So there's something that we practice called pranic breathing, for example, right?
Okay.
So in the movement of what we call breath work, in that movement of your inhalation, it's a slow inhalation, slow exhalation. And with that, what happens is that energetically, a lot of these low vibrational energies get flushed out of the aura, right? And when that happens, there is a lot of inner stillness because now the mind is clear. Yeah. So it's like, when you look at, for example, you look at the ocean, when it's very windy and the tide is high, it looks crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's what a lot of us are internally. There's like a raging ocean and there's so much in there, and sometimes you don't even know what's there. And so what happens is a tendency to, I can't deal with this stuff, let me go on my social media, let me start doom scrolling, for example, right? Because you can't deal with and you'll notice this, it's so easy to end up doom scrolling when you've had a very hard day of work, right? When and you're really tired and you've been exposed to so much stress energy, which is rampant, right? Especially in workplaces, a lot of workplaces. So energetically, there's that contamination that takes place, right? So what happens is, when you don't have to force yourself, and it can start small and gradual. It doesn't have to be some huge, gigantic step. It could just be a small step, and whatever the person is comfortable with. Whether it's just, okay, when I go home, I'm not gonna doom scroll. I'm gonna keep my phone aside for 15 minutes. I'm just gonna sit and do some breathing. Simple as that. And then just creating a habit out of it, and just observe, okay, how does my body feel, right? Instead of constantly thinking, constantly stressing, worrying, whatever, just doing that. And then, because with that, there's a partial cleanse that takes place through this breathing exercise. And then, so now you've cleansed it. Now let me energize it with something positive. Maybe I'm going to do a positive visualization meditation. Maybe I'm going to, also in pranic healing, we talk about meditation on loving kindness, right? Let me, so we have two energy centers. We have what we talk about. We have a heart center, the heart chakra, so to speak. And this is the energy center from which you experience love for yourself and for people your loved ones, right? Then we have another energy center which is on the top of the head, and we call it the crown chakra.
Okay.
Yes? And so in meditation on loving kindness, we use these two energy centers to bless people and the entire earth.
All right.
And so energetically what happens is, because you are creating an intention of sending, loving, kind, positive energies to the world, that is what you receive.
Okay.
So you get energized with that energy, right? So there's a cleansing and there's an energizing that's taken place.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then you can further, go ahead, journal, you can do some affirmations and just create a very simple, basic practice. But of course, the will and the drive to start comes from within, right? You cannot force someone to go and see a doctor, right? You cannot force someone to go and get a healing session done or see a psychiatrist, psychologist. So that will starts from within, right? And one of the favorite quotes by the founder of Pranic Healing, and he says that, the choice is yours, whether you want to wallow in the mud or you want to reach for the light.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
The choice.
Whether you owe it to yourself to live a positive and brilliant, fulfilling life. You owe it. It is your birthright. It's everyone's birthright. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see that. Can you show us again towards the end, as before we say goodbye to the people? Can you show us like one of them either like pranic breathing, for
Yeah, we
example?
can do a
We
blessing.
can do that,
We can
right?
do a blessing.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good. Okay, we'll do that before we end the show. But let me just go through your feedback in a second on the question that we're asking this morning. And that is, if you could describe a happy life in one sentence, what would you say? Okay, I'll go through your feedback on Facebook in just a second, but let's see what you guys have to say on WhatsApp. If you could describe a happy life in one sentence, what would you say? This one says the spirit, okay. And then this one says, hi, NTV, it's DJ Col. Oh, hi, DJ Colita. DJ Colita, that Tudiningi on Fridays. Yeah, it's so good to hear from you, DJ Colita. Says, good show. I am learning a lot from this conversation. Thank you so much, DJ Colita. Practice. On Friday, we'll do something with you on happiness and see kama umelad nini. Hi, this one says, Big Event TV. Kenya, tune in and enjoying the dialogue, the search for happiness. Please share the panelists' contact information. This is Steve from Seattle, Washington. Thank you so much, Steve, for tuning in. This one says, I think they've sent either an image or a video or something, and then says, Aristotle once argued that happiness is for the dead. When one is alive, they feel joy, but not happiness. Happiness is permanent. This taught me that nothing can make us feel a true happiness. We always feel joy. This is from his book, Nicomachean, I think, or something. Yeah. Okay, this one says, hello to you too. How are you doing? And then this one says, thank you, Cecilia and the team. Actually, I have heard you. The advice was pleasing, and I have known that I am my own enemy. I actually should sit down first and ask myself, is this worth my energy? So I cannot be hurting the other side. Okay, all right. This one says, this is jamani, mahari imekuwa kama biashara tu. Wazazi wawe wangwada, sio kuifanya kama biashara. Pesa au mali inayoitishwa kama mahari siku hizi ni nyingi ajabu. Maura from Nairobi. Hiya. Okay. And then this one says, happy birthday, Mikali. Enjoy your day. Yes, yesterday was Mick's birthday. So yes, please go to her page and tell her all the happy birthdays that you can. Yesterday was her birthday. All right. And then on Facebook, there's one comment that I really... Okay, so this one says... Masi Mwende, who says, good relationship with God, myself, family, and money. Good relationship with money. I think that's a good thing, having a good relationship with money. Wanjaz Tracy anasema, a happy life is writing a story that your soul is proud to reread, even on its hardest chapters. Okay. And then this one says, this is Daniel Abuga, who says, happiness is to know the Savior, living a life within his favor. Happiness is the Lord. And then Mohammed Musa. Mohammed, it's Monday. You know what he says? On behalf of all men, I would say single life. Okay, Mercy Guitar says health, peace, money. Okay, and then JJ Joshua, who says enjoy the present moment, and then Patrick Muridi says a good relationship with God, with your God, and a healthy body. And then Mercy Kimbani, this is the comment I was looking for, says being at peace, you are in good health. That's something that you can be grateful for. Also, a place where you can sleep. You're not lacking something to eat, and there's somewhere you're working, even if you're earning a small amount, of money. That's something you're supposed to thank God for, because others follow. Gratitude, I think what we've all talked about. And then Wainaina says, happy life is happy life. Maskar Taifa says, good health, peace, and money equals happy life. Okay, and then I think most of this we also went through. Us waking up healthy and having a job to report to, good health, good life, and praying to God always. And then Mike anasema financial freedom and good health. Many of the people are saying good health. Dante's anasema peace of mind. Calvin says health. And then Stone Mogul anasema waking up every day, seeing my family, friends, and neighbors happy. That's a good thing. Okay. I know time is not on our side, and there's this comment about happiness and joy and the difference, in itself and whatnot. But hey, I think in less than 10 seconds, because we need to wind up now, and we have the breath work, to do. So what is that one thing that you wish for the people who are watching us today as far as happiness is concerned, and what is it that they can take away from the conversation in 10 seconds or less?
Yeah, mine is to wish them to choose to be grateful for what they have, even as they look for what they are looking for. Kenyans, we like complaining. Kenyans, we like complaining. Most of us like complaining. Please, can we tell ourselves this week?
Yes.
Everything we see, we are going to appreciate. I will look for the positive side of it, including the government, including whoever did. Can we look at the positive side of it?
Okay.
And try to be grateful for 7 days.
Okay.
Even for your life, get 3 things every day to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And for the government, and for everyone else you're going to meet in this life.
7 days. Yes, I
7
went to
days.
Repewa. Thank you, Cecilia.
Be grateful.
Be grateful. Okay,
And
Cecilia
you'll be
has
happy.
taken 5 seconds from you, so you have 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds. Okay, TikTok. First of all, may I just say use less, at least a maximum of 2.5 hours. That's what is recommended for social media.
Okay.
So that if you do too much, it will deprive your sleep, it will increase aggression, it will increase bullying, it will increase, it will lower your cognitive abilities.
Okay.
And if you don't do it, you lose, you become isolated, you lose network, and so on. So do a maximum of 2.5 hours.
2.5
for
hours
social
in a
media.
day.
In a day.
Out of 24 hours.
Yes.
Very good
That's a
advice.
sweet spot.
All right, Namrita.
Okay, I would like to say that I think happiness is greatest when instead of focusing or constantly focusing on yourself, you ask yourself, what is it that I can do for other people?
Okay.
And it is actually shown that when we do something for others, an act of kindness, just whatever it is, whatever it may be, it actually has positive psychological benefits on yourself.
On you. All right. Thank you so much, Namrita, Matthew, Cecilia. Really appreciate it. And thank you for your feedback and your comment and sharing as well. I'll see you tomorrow on Relationship Tuesday. But for now, we want to end with, breath work. Okay? So please breathe with us, even as we say goodbye right here on your world. Okay? You're at home, sit and breathe with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just request everyone to sit up straight with your spine up straight.
Okay.
You can keep your hands open on your laps, like this, palm facing upward. You close your eyes, and we're going to do some deep breathing, deep abdominal breathing. So just inhale very slowly and gently. So I'll count, do it gradually and slowly. And as you inhale, make sure that your abdominal muscles are coming out, like a balloon is getting inflated. Yeah, so let's inhale slowly. Hold and exhale. Be aware of your abdominal muscles going back in. Hold, inhale. Hold, exhale. Hold, inhale. Hold, exhale. Hold, inhale. Hold, exhale. Hold. Okay, you can normalize your breathing. Just be aware of your mental state right now. Do you feel a calmness, a lightness, perhaps? You can visualize that if you're in an ocean, that the surface of the ocean has calmed down, it is still. And if you go deeper in the ocean, under the ocean, the tides have calmed down, everything is still, everything is clear. Now be aware of your heart center, which is at the center of your chest. Raise your hands up in a blessing position. Yes. Visualize the earth in front of you. And if you like, you can visualize the country Kenya in front of you. Visualize the map. Visualize the entire globe. And visualize radiating loving energy from your heart center through your hands to the entire earth. You may mentally say a prayer of your choice, or you can use the words of Saint Francis of Assisi. You can say Wherever there is anger and hatred, let me sow love.
This.
Wherever there is injury, pardon. Wherever there is despair, let there be hope. Visualize beautiful pink light radiating from your heart through your hands and flooding the entire earth. Wherever there is doubt, let there be faith. Wherever there is falsehood, let there be truth. Wherever there is darkness, ignorance, let there be light. Wherever there is sadness, let there be joy. Now visualize both your heart and visualize your crown center on top of your head. May the entire earth be blessed with compassion, with sweetness, with tenderness, with joy, with lots of healing energy, with abundance and prosperity. To the Supreme Being, to the universe, we thank you for your blessings. We thank you in full faith, so be it. Okay. You can put your hands down, smile, and open your eyes.
Oh, that was so good. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
In like just a small amount of time and you feel, oh, and we're off air. That is where we end the show today. And I hope you really felt it as well. That was really good. It was very calming and whatnot, right? It was very good. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day. See you tomorrow right here on